Hi, and welcome to another channeling video. Today, I'm going to bring in Bahar again. So I'm really enjoying these sessions with Bahar, and I know you guys are loving it too. I think we're getting so much more out of this. I think we're getting to it's taken us in so many unexpected places, and I think this is where we were supposed to go. So before I bring in Bahar, I want to tell you that for this week, I am offering a discount on my personal readings. I do recorded personal readings. So that could be an astrological analysis of your chart, or it could be channeling your personal questions, or it could be a combination of both. So the standard price is $249, and for this week, it's $149. And when you order, please send me all of your questions, your birth details, including your time of birth, and some background or context to help me, especially if you want channeling part 2. Then with your questions, give me some kind of background or context so I can better interpret the answers that I get. And allow for around 5 working days. Sometimes it can take longer because of some my health condition. So do allow some extra time, more than usual, perhaps like at least a week until you get your report. Okay, let's start. Bahar, please come in.
Hello.
Hey, and welcome.
Sorry about the background music. I hope it's not going to be too disturbing.
It's no problem right now.
Okay.
It is no problem at all. So you've got some questions prepared, so I'm just gonna hand it over to you. Do you have any words for the viewers? Anything you want to say? Anything you want to encourage?
No, just that I'm really happy and grateful to know that I feel like I'm totally a part of this. I feel like you're a full-time assistant.
Awesome.
And I love it. I'm having a great time doing this. So I'm really excited once again about the answers we're gonna receive.
Same, and I also want to express my gratitude. As people may know, I've had health issues, and really the only thing I'm able to do work-wise is the channeling. And so it's great, and maybe that was the whole purpose. Maybe the purpose was for me to focus on the channeling and not be able to do anything else. But it's so great to have your support, Bahar, and you've been a wonderful, wonderful help, and
Thank you.
help us, bring this value to people watching. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Oh, thank you. All right,
Okay.
let's roll.
Okay. Let me just always vain. Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, so the first question is there any truth to the Greek gods and their stories?
Yes. You can ask a follow-up question to that.
So is everything about them the truth?
They are symbolic or metaphors, or they are in a story format to make it easier for us to get and remember the knowledge that they are attempting to pass on to us. So while they are true, but as metaphors or in a symbolic way.
And what are they here to teach us? What is their message?
Natural powers of nature. Powers of nature. They describe the powers of nature, but they give them a personality and make them relatable as if they were human-like gods, whereas they are forces of nature that can influence us in such a way that we express these forces, but they themselves are not human-like gods.
And is it true that they're connected to the planets?
Yes.
In what ways?
They were describing the forces of nature that are governed by the planets.
And what about the Greek temples? Do these temples hold any divinity?
Some of them were built out of fear that they may have made the gods displeased. And so some of them are not a sincere form of worship, but rather an attempt to buy the approval of the gods. But in terms of what was the question?
So when we visit these places, can we connect to either the people who built them or the gods that they are worshiping?
You can, but you can do that anywhere. You don't need the temple for that. You can worship any of these so-called gods or symbolic gods from wherever you are. What they were calling gods were forces of nature or qualities of nature, such as, for example, the Saturnian energy. You can worship that anywhere. I want to say with this, I'm getting only like piece by piece. I'm not getting like a full, I'm just getting like every piece for the specific question, yeah.
I see. Should we maybe channel a specific Greek god? Okay. What about Aphrodite? I hope she's a Greek goddess. Can we channel Aphrodite?
Yeah.
What is your purpose? What do you embody?
I represent the power in relaxation and being content where you are, appreciating yourself, feeling worthy.
And what is your story?
She's saying, from your point of view, there is a story, but it's not really my actual story. This story has the purpose of making you understand my energy and my influence, but it's not my actual story.
I see. And how can we connect to you, Aphrodite?
You can ask for my support, and I will grant you self-appreciation, self-love, and an unwillingness to move from where you are. Feeling really content where you are.
That's beautiful. What about Zeus? I mean, the popular Zeus. Can we talk to you?
Getting a sense of confidence, leadership, and confidence. Like he's higher up too. Comes in higher up.
Yeah, is it true that you are the ultimate, boss of all the gods? The lack of a better word.
That is my role. Yes. He doesn't consider himself, but he can to have the role or the position. God.
And what do you do as the leader of the gods?
What I provide is more essential. I provide the spark. Is he a sun god? Because it feels like he says he provides the spark. He provides the spark of life. The
Are you connected to the sun somehow?
I can't answer this because I feel like I'm questioning it myself. So I'm not. I think I'm not being a pure channel in this one. So I can't answer that with integrity because I feel like I'm getting in the way of
Okay, so maybe the last question to Zeus. What is the purpose of this spark that you ignite in us?
the self. I think he does represent the sun because what he's describing is the sun qualities. The independence, the individuality, the foundation is the best way I can put it.
Okay. So the second question is, what is the purpose of déjà vus?
The purpose is to remind you of what you had planned before. It is also a moment of awakening to your higher self and a peek behind the veil. So you have a moment of remembering that there is something deeper going on, something beyond what you can see and hear, something before this life.
So what are these glimpses that we peek into when we have déjà vus? Are they from past lives?
It can be, they can be that you are experiencing what you had planned to experience. And so it is a slight reminder that none of this is by chance, and there was a purpose to this, and it was planned, and it's not as random as it appears. At other times, it can have other purposes that can be more individual. But in general, what it will do for you is to remind you that it is not as random as it appears, that you have seen this before, and that you have some power in what happens, and that you have been behind the scenes directing, so to speak.
Wow. And how much of these moments are directed?
All of them. You decide that you will experience these. And in fact, you put these deja vus in, you planned them beforehand as a reference point for yourself to not lose yourself in forgetfulness. So reminders like this are sometimes planned in to give yourself a reminder.
Is this a reminder that we are on the right path?
It is different from different perspective. From your human perspective of forgetfulness, yes, it is a reminder that you are on the right path. From the behind the scenes perspective, from your higher self, it is all planned. You cannot be on the wrong path.
Wow.
And the purpose from behind the scenes is to give you a breadcrumb so that you do not feel completely lost, and so that you remember every now and then that there is a higher purpose, there is something greater than just what appears.
So does that mean there is no way for us to miss out on our destiny?
Yes, you will be guided, you will be pushed, you will be coerced at times into your destiny. You cannot miss it. Everything is lined up in a way that it has a specific effect on you to move you in a specific direction. While you think you are completely free, you have a very set personality, and you tend to make preferences according to a specific pattern. And so according to that, you can be very predictable to your higher self. And so you are I can explain this. It's like you can't go wrong. It's like everything, not only is everything lined up to get you there, but it's like it's all choreographed in a way. So you really can't go wrong.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. So,
But also you have the experience of complete and utter freedom. So you have both this freedom of choice as well as this destiny that you can't miss. and both are true at the same time.
So is it that our free will is somehow through our set personality directed towards our destiny?
I'm not sure I understood the question, but you have full freedom to make whatever choices you want. Full freedom. However, your personality is beyond your choice. You have the preferences that you have, and you will choose according to it. And so in that sense, you are predictable, but you are also completely free. You can go outside of your preferences, but you will not prefer to. And so you are not pushed into any particular path, but you just prefer it. Your path, it will be what you prefer.
Yes, that answers my question. Thank you. So what is the purpose of forgetting then? Why do we lose our memory?
Of our purpose, you mean?
Yes, exactly, of our destiny.
Because then you would not have the experience of choosing it and taking the steps to get there. There would be no fun if you could just get the direct path. It is no fun when you know how a movie is going to end. You want to be caught up in the drama on the way before getting to the end.
That's beautiful. Okay, so the next question is, why do we dream?
To create beautiful things and reconnect with our creativity and our godlike qualities. When we dream, we create, and we are free, and we are all powerful. And we connect with that side of us when we dream. It is quite boring not to be able to do that in the waking state.
And why do we have nightmares sometimes then?
Sometimes we choose the darker feelings and create scary situations for ourselves, just like we do it in the daytime in our waking life. We do it in our dreams sometimes. From a higher point of view, we have a neutral attitude to these things. We do not consider it bad. We consider it different than what is pleasant, and we are aware that it causes unpleasant feelings. But from a higher point of view, we don't consider it harmful, because from a higher point of view, nothing ever really harms you. But we provide the experience of it, as in, it gives you the illusion that you are in danger or can be harmed. And so sometimes it can be compared to you in your waking state watching a scary movie. Some people enjoy watching a scary movie knowing that the feelings that are associated with it are uncomfortable. However, knowing that it is only a movie, they are at peace. That is the same attitude that we have from a higher point of view to nightmares and even bad things that happen in your real life. We know that it's not real, and so we are comfortable with it, but you do not know that it's not real. And so you are uncomfortable with it. So the same way that you are relieved when a nightmare is over and you are awake and you realize that it wasn't real, the same attitude can be applied to those things that you believe are real, that are happening in your real life. Real life nightmares, so to speak, that you believe are real. If you knew that they are not actually real, you would understand us and why we not only allow it to happen, but plan those experiences in for ourselves. That you create these things for yourselves.
So, is it true that we sometimes create our dreams to process our memories?
Yes, a dream, you will find a connection between your dreams and your real life in the sense that when you are feeling a lot of anxiety, you may express all of your fears in your nightmare. And when you are very positively focused on something, you may find that you dream about it in a wonderful dream. And so, what this should tell you is that you are creating in your real life as well as in your dream life. And so, whatever you are focused on and creating at the moment will turn up in your dream and your real life. Only it happens faster in the dream and it happens on a grander scale in the dream, whereas your real life is quite slow.
What about dreams that make no sense in the 3D reality?
Sometimes you are not particularly focused on any one thing. You are just processing a great deal of minor thoughts and feelings. And so you can have a dream that reflects a bunch of minor things and a general feeling that you are also expressing in your waking life.
I see. And what can we practically do to help us remember our dreams?
You will remember more of your dreams if you are more dreamlike in your waking state. If you are more willing to question whether your reality is truly real and more willing to consider that maybe it is all a dream and more willing to be creative and playful about what you are creating and be a little bit more detached to it. If you can bring more of your dream state into your waking life, then you can also bring more of your dream state into your waking life.
So, does it make sense to interpret our dreams sometimes?
It would make sense, although what you will find is that your dreams will communicate to you exactly what you are communicating to yourself in your waking life. So, while, for example, you are manifesting something in your dream that you will later manifest in your real life, all it will tell you is what you are manifesting right now. Sometimes the dream will express the extreme emotions that we are not wanting to manifest in our real life. And so the dream, if you interpret it, will only tell you all the anxious and fearful thoughts that you are feeling, and that in one way or another are manifesting in your real life, though perhaps not as dramatic as in your dreams.
Okay, the last question on dreams is, what about reoccurring dreams? Do they try to tell us a specific message?
Yes. Can you ask this in different ways? Because I think there is a yes, but I'm not getting more on that.
Let me give you a specific example, maybe. I had the reoccurring dream that my teeth are falling out.
In this case, it was to wake you up to something. On the one hand, you would have wanted to know what it means, but on the other hand, when you did, you would find that this only confirms something that you are already aware of. And so sometimes the messages are more profound. In this case, there was a acknowledgement of a major shift that you are making or have made. And so being aware of the message would have just given you an acknowledgement for your efforts, an acknowledgement for the shift that you have made and the releasing of old energy.
Okay, I see. So the last question is, how long after leaving the physical form are we assigned a new life?
There's no time needed for this. Can you explain in different words so that we can give you a satisfactory answer?
So from a human perspective, how much time is passing after we are leaving the body and reincarnating into a new one?
From a human perspective, it could be a matter of a day or many years, sometimes over 100 years. From a human perspective, it can vary a great deal. Although, of course, as you know, time is just an illusion, and that says very little about what is happening on the other side in terms of when a soul is ready to move on into a new incarnation. You can, if you choose, immediately go back into another life that is 300 years later. So it is both immediately after and 300 years later. There is no linear time. That is just an illusion for you to experience reality in the way that you do.
So, what factors determine how or when we will be ready for a new incarnation?
It is a matter of what interests you and also what you want to achieve in terms of your soul's evolution and what you think you could learn from. It can also be about how much you need to recover from the life that you have just finished. If it has been a very painful life, you may need to first cleanse yourself off of the negativity and dark energy that you have experienced. You may need a great deal of healing so that you can enter a new life somewhat with a clear slate. Sometimes you prefer to do other things rather than reincarnate. Sometimes you choose not to incarnate for a long time. You do what you prefer and what feels most stimulating to you. We wonder, what is it about this and time that fascinates you in your human form, from your human perspective? What is it about time? Because we sense that time as a measurement for you also reflects the measuring of yourselves. Am I early? Am I late? Am I good enough? Am I there yet? Is it my first life or my last life? Am I worthy? In your reality, there is a purpose to these limitations and measurements, but they are illusions, and from our point of view, there is nothing to measure yourselves to. You don't need to be an old soul or a young soul. You don't need to jump back into a life. You have nothing you need to achieve. You are worthy as you are. You are good enough. Although that was not the question that was asked, we wanted to point out the underlying values that are communicated in the questions, that there is a time within which that things need to happen, and you need to be within those limitations, or you are wrong and you are unworthy. This is the implication in some of the questions. Do not try or do not concern yourselves with being an old soul or in your last life, as many in your New Age community have wanted to be, or to reach wisdom. You must know that if you are wise, it is a choice, just like it was a choice to not be wise when you incarnated. Wisdom is no more superior than ignorance. It has its benefits, certainly. It has its purpose, but so does ignorance, and none of it makes any of you less worthy. None of it. You are all worthy. None of you are inferior to another.
Wow, I think this is a beautiful place to end it, honestly. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh,
Wow.
dear. Oh, Bahar,
What?
back.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What an amazing ending.
Yeah.
How profound and
Yeah, I like that ending.
yeah, truly, because I do think that it really reminded us that how concerned we are about being on time when there's actually no time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great reminder, I think.
It was a really cool experience too, because like it's like I could sense the underlying meaning, the underlying like beliefs that weren't even asked. It was I want more of that. Or next time, more of that freestyle.
Yes, definitely. I think we weren't even aware of like what these questions implied because we're so stuck sometimes in our perspective.
Yeah,
And yeah, that
yeah,
was like it went like to a like I didn't even expect this answer, but I was like, oh,
yeah,
this is so true. Like, wow. And I don't know, it just gave me like such a reassurance that, everything is going as it's supposed to be. Everything is as it's
yeah,
supposed to be, and there's nothing to worry about being not being on time, not evolving fast
yeah,
enough, all of
yeah.
that.
That's yeah. I'm a little still a little overwhelmed by it, so I can't really comment on it. But I thought it was. I liked also how with the last question, maybe because we had been channeling for a while, that it became like, things just came out of on their own.
Yes.
Whereas like the Greek question, the Greek gods question, I felt like it was just like I was just getting crumbs. Um,
Mm. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but it's you. I feel like it's always like the deeper you get into, the more you're sort of like just flowing with it and just
yeah,
like yeah, that's how it feels to me. At
yeah.
least, yeah.
I feel that way too. I feel that way too. Maybe for next time we should plan so that we have like more clear cut questions first, and then more like things that could go deep later. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was a really interesting one, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too. Thank you so much, Bahar. And I want to remind people that if you want a personal recorded reading, we have an offer this week. So it's $100 off. The link should be in the description box. And I would like to, me and Bahar wants more of your questions. So write down your questions in the
Yeah.
section. Yeah. What kind
They
of,
were very interesting. I really like those questions too. Yeah.
yeah. What kind of questions what would you like to see, Bahar?
I honestly, to me, like the most interesting questions are always the ones that sort of like challenge our perspective, like the ones on like time and dreams and like what is reality. Those are the ones that like interest me the most personally.
Mm.
But yeah, for sure.
I agree. I like those questions a lot too. I think those questions are great, and I think it takes a lot more like imagination to come up with those. I also like the questions that are, uh, comforting on a heart level. Bahar, you have frozen. I don't know. Are you still with us? Okay. I don't know what happened, but so I'm just gonna end it here. I guess there's a reason for it. I think I lost Bahar. Okay. Thank you, everybody. And thank you from Bahar as well. Yeah, we look forward to your questions, and I'll see you next week. Bye.